Hey, what's up guys? I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm just gonna show you guys how can we use useEffect hook effectively in React. So we're gonna go to React docs first of all and explore what is useEffect. And there you go, I guess. We can just go through this introduction and learn about the hooks. So I'm just gonna search useState. So useState is nothing but a hook, an inbuilt hook that React gives us for manipulating various states. Like there's a const variable, and we are taking two defined states inside. The first state is the initial value, and we're just setting that state initial state for us to get that data value. So that's how this useState works. And we can go read multiple examples here, and I'm just gonna show you a quick demo, an example of how can we use that use effect. So I have set up a next.js application, basic application here. So I'm just gonna go and erase all the environmental stuff so that we can go through a quick demo, like hello demo. I'm just gonna checking if everything's working correctly. Okay, we can remove all the unwanted CSS here so that we can have a clean slate. Okay, all right. So first we can just open a tag like this for us to include our demo JSX tags, and we can just uh, introduce two useState arrays like todos, and we are just setting that todos. And we gotta be careful for following all the name conventions here, because I'm using camel case in this place. So that's how everyone writes, and that's how a naming convention works. I hope you all know that. And we're just giving the use state, and we are defining an empty to do, something like this. I'm just giving an empty array, and it takes an empty array. All right. So now we have to define the interface for this. So we can just copy it, and we can just write an interface like this. So we're just defining the data types of everything. Since we're using TypeScript, and it is always mandatory for us to define all the data types here. And what else? And we are defining the completer, or it's going to be completer, Boolean one. There you go, we have defined it. And we can just go for another use state definition for having our inputs. So input, and we just setting that input, and this input is having an empty string. Okay, the empty string is like this. We are good to go. All right. So I guess we are going to just go and start writing our user interfaces. You can start a div like this. We can just give an h1 like to-do list. For the starters, we can write some inline stylings here. Like I'm not gonna give much attention and time to all the CSS and stuff. So I guess it's a no-brainer thing for everyone, I guess. So we don't have to spend much time. Okay, I guess we can give 50x auto, and that's it. Okay, I think we gotta define import useState here. What's wrong? You are importing a client state. Okay, if you want, we gotta make sure that we are using use client here. Right. So next, we can just start our form component by creating a new form. And of course, we gotta make an onSubmit function. And we can give add to do. Later, we might start defining that function. And for styling, we can give some margin bottom, maybe like 20 pixels. Okay, then we can define our input, something like this. So the type is going to be text. The value is going to be the input, which we define here. And the onChange property, which is the most important, like how the onChange event is going to take place in here. Yes, it's going to take some callback function so that I can set that input. Go something like e dot target dot value. I guess this is how it goes. The placeholder can say something like add a new task. Okay, we can still define some stylings here. Let's say we can give some adding like 8 pixels, and we can give some width like 70%, and we can give some margin right like 10 pixels. I think this will work good. And we can add some button. What can the button say? Add. So we're gonna make sure that we are defining type submit for button, but not type is equal to button. And give some stylings for this too, like padding is like HPX 16px. Okay, all right, we can define the function for add to do here. We're gonna take that function and we're gonna define that here. Const add to do. So it's like function, and we're gonna define there okay, this form event. like we can define it inside, like e dot prevent default. Okay, I made a mistake here. Prevent default is a function, so that D is capital. Alright, so we're gonna empty the states, like taking the if condition operator, like if the input is not empty. So let's take a function like this, and it's gonna return so const new to do. We can do something like this. It's equal to do. So the ID is gonna be date text input and completed false. I think this looks good. So if this is true, so we're gonna have to set to-dos. Like we're gonna take a spread operator like this, and okay, and at last after finishing this, we're gonna set input and we're gonna clear all the characters inside. I guess this is right. This, I guess it looks good. And then we're gonna go down and we're gonna render the list. So up here below, we can render the list, like we can say ul. I guess we're gonna map our to-dos, like to-dos dot map to-dos dot map, like I guess this is how it goes. So we're gonna take like li for list order components, and we're gonna take some key value pairs here. Key must be unique, so it's gonna be to do ID. So I guess the stylings, we can forget about the stylings. We can do something like okay. So we can put a span inside. So that inside the span we can just here show it like this. And Maybe we can just put our on click here. So it's gonna take a callback function. Let's say toggle to do, maybe like we're gonna pass our ID inside like this. Also, we can give a delete button here. It says delete. The type of this button is button. So this is delete button. I guess we can take the same function here and change the name like delete to do. So I guess we have to write our functions for this. So we can go to the top. We can just name here something like to do. Toggle to do. And we're gonna set to-dos. Something like this. We're gonna map it here. Maybe we can just put our ID as we can define the ID as number here. Set to do map. This. And if to do dot ID is the ID, I'm gonna take ternary operator, then spread it. Here. Or if that is not completed, do something like this. I guess this looks good. And we gotta write the same function again for delete here. I guess we can just set to-dos filter. Like to do dot ID, and it's gonna negate this. Guess we can close the bracket. I guess everything looks good. we have defined two use states here, and it's a function for adding the items here, and we can just delete it. Let's see how it looks. So we can just task. We have got this, and this is the delete button. There you go. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I guess we have just so what's use state and how can we manipulate states in this video.